Okay, I hope this works. We're driving, we're going to the gym, and I'm starting to do this now, where I do gym videos. I'm leaving my house right now. It is 8:05 p.m. Saturday. I'm doing arms today. I'm going to the gym at my office because I like to do arms in that gym. It's pretty empty. I do blood flow restriction for my arms, which is a pretty gnarly thing to do. It's raining really good, and I live in Colorado, so of course it's, almost, I have to say, we needed this. How probably everyone says that about any rain they get any time, and we always do need rain. Some places can get too much, but other than flooding, rain is good. So, again, hope the audio is fine, but if it's not, I'll just not upload this part. I'm going to record myself doing my workout, and I'm new to all this. I got a lot of bones to pick, so we'll see about how much I talk. I don't want to talk too much. No one likes to watch. It's already about a minute. Long form, I'll probably do YouTube. Let everybody see that. Minimum edits. Instagram, I might just keep it to my workouts. We'll see what I do about that. I don't know yet. I'm learning. I'm figuring this out. My buddy Elijah texted me. He said, "Bro, you got to do this." And I'm about 8 weeks or 7 weeks away from my bodybuilding show. Hopefully the first one. If I win, I get my pro card, and then I go to Mr. Olympia. If I lose, then I don't know. I just do another pro qualifying show until I win, and hopefully I go pro before Mr. Olympia, because my goal this year is to go to Mr. Olympia. That's the goal. So that's the goal there. Before this, I was with my mom, and we just drove back from the Sand Dunes National Park, the Great Sand Dunes National Park in Colorado. Not the white sand dunes in Arizona. They're different. So we went this morning. That's, if you're on Instagram, then you've seen my daily progress pics in the hotel. That's the hotel. It smelled like cat litter, so I'm going to get a refund on that. Pretty good. Packed up all my meal prep, came home for dinner because I did not pack my dinner meal prep for today. And I figured, you know what? I'm going to do protein bar and some rice cakes. Pre-workout food / dinner. I have a little bit more food left for when I get back home, which will be shrimp, just shrimp, 150 grams of shrimp. There's no carbs, very, very low fat, about 1 gram of fat. And this is the bone that I want to pick first, is fat content, fat count, grams, whatever, grams of fat. Stuff that says it's healthy. I don't think it's healthy if there's more than about 5 grams of fat, depending on what it is. There's healthy fats, sure. Let me do something there, I look better. But like a protein bar, right? The front of the protein bar always says, 20 grams of protein, which is not enough, by the way. When you think about muscle protein synthesis and stuff, I think the minimum you want is about 25. 20 is probably good, but 25 is better, and 30 is probably even better. It's hard to find a protein bar with more than 25 grams of protein, or even 25 grams of protein. It's actually pretty hard. I go to GNC pretty often because I just peruse the clearance section, and I recently got some more fish oil, some omega-3s on sale. That was good. But I look at these protein bars and I think, you know what? Because there's sometimes I have a late night, I'm out all day, and I don't have the energy to really cook real food. I just want to have a protein bar, hit my macros, and go to bed. Now, it's not very hard to hit my macros. I have 200 grams of protein, about 95 grams of carbs, and then I try to keep my fat around 18, no more than 18 grams of fat per day. 20 is okay, and typically it's around 11. That's where I'm at right now. About 11 grams of fat. Really low fat, because fat is, of the macros, it has the most calories per gram of fat. Everyone kind of knows this, olive oil, high in calories, butter, high in calories, all that stuff. So avoiding fats is actually really important when you're cutting or when you're trying to be healthy. It's, if you can avoid 5 grams of fat, 10 grams of fat per day, no matter where it's coming from, even if it's healthy fats, if you can avoid it, your calories are going to be lower and you're going to lose weight. And a lot of people, when they're counting their calories, most of the time they're aiming to lose weight. So David protein bars, I'm not really affiliated with them at all, but I did some research, and by research I mean I looked on Amazon for about 20 minutes, and I looked at protein bars. There's Barbell, there's Quest, there's a lot. There's even this one called One, like it's ONE with a 1 symbol, and they got, Hershey's and Reese's. And, you look at the fat content and it's got 10, 11 grams of fat, no less than 8. A lot of them have 8 grams of fat, minimum. That's a lot. That is a lot of fat when you compare it to the protein. So carbs, protein, and fat ratio. If it's a protein bar, I expect a 2-to-1 ratio for the carbs and protein, and even less than that for the fats. I want, 1-2 grams of fat. And especially right now, I haven't plateaued yet in my weight, so I'm keeping about roughly the same macros, which is, like I said, 200 grams of protein, 200 grams of protein. I was about 100 grams of carbs. I'm bumping it down to about 95. And then the fat is just as low as possible. So I avoid stuff like beef. Even if it's lean beef, the fat content is still pretty high compared to chicken, tuna, and shrimp. So my main protein source is non-fat milk, right? Fairlife milk. We all know and love the non-fat, ultra-filtered Fairlife milk. 50% more protein, 50% less carbs. That is just pure gold. And as far as I know, on the shelf, when you go to Walmart or anywhere you go that's a general market, Fairlife has no competitors, which is interesting. There's a pretty big market for this type of milk. And Fairlife, it's pretty expensive too. You're buying like 52 ounces. It's 1.2 liters, which for me, no, it's 1.5 liters. And I measure in the metric system when I do my meal prep. So it's always grams and liters. I have about 300 milliliters of this milk every day. So it's a perfect 5-day container. And, like protein. So protein powder. That's the next thing. I was doing some whey concentrate, and the whey concentrate is good. 25 grams of protein per scoop, 2.5 grams of fat, and like about 10 grams of carbs or something like that. I just switched like 1 day ago, to isolate, whey protein isolate. Now for 1 scoop, and I don't know if the scoop sizes are the same, right? So it's about, a typical scoop of protein powder is about 30 grams, plus or minus 2 or 3 grams. Now this is 28 grams of protein per scoop. So I'm automatically getting plus 3 grams of protein with my breakfast protein shake, which is just milk and protein powder. But the nice thing is it's 0.5 grams of fat. And then the carbs are about 8. So 2 grams of carbs relative to 95 is small, right? It's about 2%. So it's a 2% reduction in carbs, but my fats, I'm now going from, 13, 14 grams of fat per day to about 11 or 12. And that's pretty significant when it comes down to calories or, overall allotment, right? Because when I lose 2 grams of fat in my breakfast, now I can eat a little bit more chicken or a little bit more shrimp, So shrimp has about 1 gram of fat per, the shrimp that I have, it's pre-cooked frozen, has about 1 gram of fat per about 85 grams of shrimp. 100 grams of shrimp has 1 gram of fat. So now I can eat 200 grams of shrimp or 300 grams of shrimp, add an extra bit, have a little bit more fat, and I'm good to go. So that's my number one bone to pick, 10 minutes of talking. This is a YouTube video. Now for Instagram, I'm probably just going to keep it with the short first minute, went to the sand dunes and everything. But that's all I got for now. I'm just going to drive through this rain and get to the gym. The next time you'll see me, I'll be getting my blood flow restriction cuffs on and doing a good arm workout. So we'll see that. I don't know if I record the whole thing or if I'll probably just record the whole thing as much as I can, getting in and off the benches and everything, and then I'll chop it down later. That's the one thing I'm not great at editing, so my editing skills, we'll see. These videos are not for the faint of heart. These are, at length videos. So I hope you love my voice. It's a little bit raspy. I've been in limbo of being sick for the past week or so. I'm not quite sick. I'm not quite fully healthy. I think a day with 12 hours of sleep would heal me up, but we'll see if I ever get there. I'm just now getting to 8 hours of sleep. I've been rocking about 6 pretty consistently for quite some time, and it feels terrible. I'm not proud of it at all. My goal is to have about 8 hours of solid sleep, and I track my sleep, so I'm pretty good at making sure I can tell how much sleep I'm getting and track that data. But anyway, yeah, so I'll see you guys at the office gym. And we made it in. Check it out. Nice and totally empty. I'm gonna be able to cut the music because I'm the only one here, and it'll be a good workout, I hope. I haven't worked out this late. 8:32 p.m. Wow. Oh, I don't even know how I'm still have any energy at all. Yeah, I am just... There we go. Let there be light. Totally tired, but I slept in the car on the way home, and we just had gotten home. So, I got out of the car, had my protein bar with too much fat, and then a couple rice cakes. Give me some little carb energy, a little bit of protein, pre-workout protein. And yeah, so I have some energy from that food. Hopefully it'll last long enough for this workout. We'll see. All right. Well, I got the tripod all set up. This is, we're gonna start here doing some blood flow restriction for biceps. I start with the biceps because I don't like doing biceps as much as triceps, mainly because it's a little bit boring, because I'm just doing preacher curls. And to be honest, I am not a recording type of guy, but you know what? I'm doing it for you. The angle of the phone is something I gotta figure out. Maybe I do 0.5. That looks pretty rough. I couldn't figure out how to get the lights on up above, so I think I'm just gonna do from this angle, or maybe from this angle. I'll have to move it back though. And then I gotta get my straps on. I'm doing, what am I doing? That's a pretty good spot. Way back here. It's kind of crazy. I can't imagine doing this in the gym with a bunch of people taking up this whole space right here. But this is what I'm working with. It looks like there's a glare coming from somewhere. Oh well. Yep, so preacher curls, I do normal curls, and then I do hammer curls. And I'm going to do 35 pounds. So let's get it going. All right, so first step comes grabbing the weight. Obviously, for most people, this is a pretty normal thing to do. If you're in a wheelchair, it can be difficult, I guess. I like to push it forward, depending on how it's rested on here. So I push it forward that way. I have room to tilt it back. Just lift it and set it on my lap. If there's two of them, I'll roll this one forward and put the other one cross like this, and that usually works pretty well. And then bring it over. Bring it over here, and when it comes to a preacher curl bench, this one is actually really nice. It's probably one of the favorites that I've done. I've done quite a few. I just get nice and close, and then I just set it down like so on the bench, and usually my number for this is 6. And now it's time for the straps. The straps I'll typically do about 75 mmHg. What is that? Millimeters of mercury. I think that's what it is. Because I get the fancy one with the real pump. Some people, and I gotta wash these, they kind of stink. Kind of stinky. Some people have normal straps that they do, and that's fine. They work. This one is a little bit just more scientific, I guess, is all. And I don't even know necessarily. One of my coach, actually, he's a PhD in kinesiology, and he did his research in blood flow restriction. So I'll have to get more clarity on exactly what it does for me and how good it is. I got a couple bug bites too. I don't know if that was from the hotel or if that's just from being outside in the area I was in. Hopefully it's not from the hotel, because that would be very concerning. Getting these tight before they're pumped up, though, that's tough to do on my own. There we go. And then I want to make sure it's... The problem is, so these are pretty thick, and the problem is for biceps, it kind of cuts off my bicep, where if you get normal straps that don't pump up and they just tighten, then they're a little bit thinner, so you get a little bit more flexion without impeding it. And other than that, I don't know. I think it's nice though having these with the pressure, and this is probably really loud. The Velcro. It's also my left arm. I need to make it tighter, so I'll probably skip this part. Okay, yeah, the right hand is much tighter. I don't know how I did that. How's that? No, it's still tighter on the right. Huh. There we go. Alright, so now let me double check. The angle here is good. And then we're just going to get into the workout. Yeah, that's pretty good. I can go maybe a little bit closer. A little bit better angle there. That's probably good. And yeah, so I have no way to stop this. So actually I'm going to stop it, restart it, and then this will be the whole workout, most likely. Okay. Now we're getting into it. Now we're doing the workout. Obviously the first thing is to get on this bench, and that's another reason I am doing these videos, is to show, I hope my phone doesn't fall, is to show how I transfer. I'll just kind of stick this up here for now, and then what I do it, oh, did something just fall? No? Okay. Oh man, am I tired. Alright, so I just get up close here from the side, put my first leg over. I kind of have to pee, so I'll probably go pee after this. first workout of preacher curls. Typically, people might warm up or stretch. I don't feel like it. And I've noticed that for BFR, one of the really nice things is that I don't really have to. And like I was saying, I need to learn more about blood flow restriction because my coach, my trainer, and my friend did his research in it. I ask him about it pretty often. There's some really good podcasts. The Peter Attia podcast is one of my favorite podcasts because it's a very no BS type of podcast where very, very scientific, gets into the nitty gritty, and then, it's straightforward stuff. I like the way he talks. Sometimes the cadence of people's talking or the way they breathe in when they're in the microphone, they go, stuff like that, really bothers me. Especially if I'm going to listen to you for 2 hours, I care about that stuff. Anyway, so blood flow restriction, I don't know if it necessarily helps get bigger faster, helps maintain muscle better, helps with vascularity, or if it's just a way to get there, get to a spot where you can do that stuff faster, right? So compared to someone else doing a workout with the same exertion and exhaustion, do they get the same workout or do I get better? My veins are popping pretty good. So the question is, does this help me get my arms bigger, or does it help me get the pump faster with lighter weight? And that is true, it does. And then that's what helps me, get bigger muscles and so on. But it's not necessarily that my muscles are bigger than someone else doing an equivalent workout. I'm just able to get a higher level workout faster or easier, which that's important because I am so exhausted all the time. These workouts, these arm workouts would be probably really horrible. I would never get the pump. I would never have my veins popping. So it's nice. And so now, I'm just gonna get into it. Ugh. And just hope the mic doesn't fall off or get crushed. Seven. Alright, that's 19. That's a pretty solid number there. About 3 reps in reserve. Nice. So I think I might need to go up to 80 mmHg for the pressure within these for biceps. If I start with biceps, I used to start with triceps, and what would happen is I would get an insane tricep pump, and then it would affect the pressure. So I would still be at 70, but it would be tighter. However, 19 is a good number. I'm going to write that down in my document here. So I have 19 with 3 reps in reserve. That's actually the same as last week. And it looks like I did 16 last week on my second set. And, one of the things that I think about is with my workout notes here provided by my coach with Ascent Training, it has the delta reps compared to last week. And sometimes I think that's a bad idea because the psychology of it is I'm supposed to be doing 3 reps in reserve every set. Now, if I see that last week I did 16 reps with 3 in reserve. Psychologically, I want to do more. And I might push myself to do 16 or 17 or 18, and maybe I'm 3 reps in reserve, maybe I'm not. I almost always put 3 reps in reserve. It's hard to tell. Sometimes I do 2. I know that I never go to 1, but it's hard to tell. Usually what I do, and this could be wrong, but it's consistent, which is maybe a little bit more important, is I just go until I think I'm at failure. So when I think I have 1 or 2 left, I stop and I call it 3. Because typically we have a little bit more in us than we know. And the only way to truly know my full failure reps would be to go to failure. So I kind of do a little bit of psychological judo with that even, where I say, well, I feel like I got 1 or 2 more. Probably that's more like 3 if I really pushed it. So I stop there and I call it 3. There are some workouts where I go to about 1, like for pull-ups, because those are unweighted. So I feel like taking those closer to failure is pretty good. Sometimes there'll be a true 3 reps in reserve. Sometimes there'll be like more 2, 1, and I just put 3. I always just kind of by habit put 3 for reps in reserve. I will do it for other stuff, but pull-ups are the one that I kind of cheat. So, Isaac, if you're watching, don't tell anybody. But all right, so let's do this second set. It's probably been about a minute or so for having a break. It's kind of weird with no music. Kind of like it. Just focus on this bug bite on my arm. Looks like there's multiple. I'm not very happy about that. As long as more don't show up tomorrow, I'm probably safe. Because I'm home now. So it means if there's more tomorrow, that means they came with me. Alright. Feels pretty good. Also with blood flow restriction, it's a little bit better to get pretty close to failure, or like you gotta really feel the pump. It does get boring with high reps, I will say. And I think I'm doing 4 working sets too. I always end up forgetting. Let me adjust this mic. I always end up forgetting to do that 4th set, but yeah, it looks like we're doing 4. Make sure I don't forget that. So that was 17 with 3 reps in reserve. Now I got 2 more sets. Then I go pee, come back, hit some hammer curls, and then some triceps. 4 workouts, 4 sets each. Pretty good. Can probably blast through this workout. I usually do my workouts within an hour, hour and a half, which I think is pretty good. I love to do a 1-hour workout. I love the gym, but I don't love being in the gym for 2 hours. Typically, I come into the gym at 7 a.m., 5 days a week, and that is exhausting. The thing is, the gym I go to is so busy at 5 p.m. There's no way. It's absolutely just insanely busy. So 7 a.m. is I have to go. If I don't go at 7 a.m., I probably can't go unless I do some weird time like 11 a.m. or 1 p.m. But after about 3 p.m., it's basically impossible up until about 10:30 p.m. So I'd have to go really late. which I don't enjoy doing late workouts, I have no energy at the end of the day. So my only hope is to get enough sleep and have some energy in the morning, which I somewhat do, but I also take some pre-workout. Of course, it was on sale that I bought it. And I like that too, because if you take pre-workout at 5 p.m., good luck getting sleep. Good luck getting good sleep. So pre-workout in the morning I find is very convenient because it kind of flows over into the work day. So I'm a little bit more awake, alert for work. And that's good because I'm a knowledge worker. Obviously, I don't do construction. So I need to think. I need the brain power. I need to focus. Yeah. And I'm tired. But all right. 3 out of 4. Set 3 out of 4. Let's get it on. All right, feels good. 13. Nice. I will say I would like to get some new straps because these do impede my bicep flexion a good bit. So yeah, I'm not going to talk much in between these sets. I'm sure this video is long as hell. A lot of cuts to do. I wish I didn't have to do it. And I'm cutting all this out for sure. I'll probably do a couple versions. I'll do a super full-length video on YouTube where I just put it all together, including this part, and then just like a 1 hour video of my whole workout, and then I'll do a shorter one where I just show one set, one talking segment, maybe 2 talking segments. It's really a podcast in a way. The podcast and you watch me work out. And some people like that. A lot of people, at least I know one person who, maybe not anymore, but would have absolutely loved this. So there's a few of you out there who are really into the full-length vlog. And I got to get better though. And I might need to get, I'm using my phone right now, my older phone, because I have the plug to plug in the microphone set, because this one's a USB-C, so that won't work. And I gotta write down that was 13, wasn't it? Yeah. Okay, doing much better than last week, so that's good. Yeah, so I might need a different camera. I might need to do something, because this is really far away. I mean, that's at least one Cosmo with his hands above his head, and that's 7'2". So yeah, something to get a little bit closer maybe, I don't know, because especially when I'm in the normal gym, it's in the morning, so it's not as busy, but I can't have my stuff taking up so much room. I could probably do 0.5. I'll probably do the what do you call it, fisheye lens, macro lens, not macro, the fisheye lens, and do that so I can just be closer. It'll be a little bit distorted, but that'll probably be all right. And I'm gonna do that this week. I'm gonna do some day in the life of my food, my eating, my breakfast, weighing myself. I weigh myself naked, so not fully weighing myself, but show you how I do it. And it'll be YouTube, Instagram somehow, probably not TikTok. I got 4,000 followers on TikTok. That's pretty good. more than YouTube and Instagram, actually. So I don't know why I'm not focusing more on TikTok. I need help, to be honest. It's hard to do all this stuff. And speaking of hard to do stuff, it's time to do this last set. Oh. Alright, I probably had about 2 more in me, but like 2 more in me before 3 reps in reserve, we'll see. But that was 14. Trois, quatre, cinq, six, sept, huit, neuf, dix, onze, douze, treize, quatorze. A little bit of French for you. And alright, I should probably get like a little remote clicker too. That would be really sweet. A little Bluetooth remote clicker so I could start and stop the video at a distance. Because, well, I'll show you how I get up. I'll show you how I get off. And so that was the full, let me write down 14 here. 14 with 3 reps from reserve. And what I like to do is squeeze the biceps a little bit. Make sure I absolutely get that contraction. Okay, so for getting down, move this stuff. My phone's up on the side there, so that's fine. And this could be dangerous for some people. It could bruise your legs, but this is just what I do. Shaved my legs recently, too. That was a good decision. Looks really nice. I have nice legs. I have nice feet, too, but you'll never see them. All right, so this wheel is locked. I almost always put my hand on the wheel and then just kind of slide off. It's not really that far of a gap, so it's pretty easy. And then adjust myself, grab my leg somehow and just pull it over, take off the brakes, sit up, and here I am. So, yeah, I wish the lighting were better. The veins are pretty gnarly. I'm gonna take out this pressure in here and then go to the bathroom, and then we're gonna hit the next set of hammer curls. All right, I'm back. 4 minutes on the clock, just about. Little pee-pee break, little wee-waz, and time for some hammer curls. Let's do it. I'm running out of things to talk about for now. I'm a bit of a yapper, if you haven't noticed, so it's pretty easy for me to chit-chat about, just about the stuff that I know about and that I'm passionate about and so on. But yeah, all right. Waste no time, just let's get right into this. Let's get right into this one. Waste a little bit of time. I'm just going to look at last week's workout, see how my performance was. 17, so I got 14 with 3 reps in reserve last week. Can probably do better because I took a bit of a break, but I am so exhausted. I'm going to go home, I'm going to go straight to bed. Well, I have to eat some food and then I'm going to go straight to bed, I promise. I'm going to take a NyQuil too, just to help me sleep. Oh, I gotta pump this up. I was like, why does it feel so easy? Where's my veins? Yeah, all right, let's get this going then. Okay. Straight flat arm. I will say to some degree, having the pressurized one is a little bit worse. Takes a little bit of extra time to do compared to just a strap, where you can mark it with a Sharpie and you know exactly where to put it. But yeah, I got these. I got the one that takes a little bit of effort. But so this was a couple years ago now, since I graduated university, but I measured my limb occlusion pressure. when I was with Isaac. We measured it, and it was like 190, something like that. So that was back then. I don't know how different it would be today. It's probably plus or minus 10 or within that range. So, but I'm good enough to know how to do it off of feeling. By now, I've played around with it enough to know what I'm doing, or, you know, to know the pressure that is not too much for me, not too little. About 70 is a little bit too little. So 75 to 85 is pretty good. Let's do it. Hammer curl. Oh. 16, and I really just don't care if anyone wants to comment on my form. I am doing what I'm gonna do. Open to trying stuff. I'm open-minded. I forgot how many I did, so I did 16 on that one. Or did I do 15? I'm going to call it 15 with 3 reps in reserve, but I'm pretty sure I just did 16 on my left hand. That's okay though. My left can always, I'm right-handed, so my left can always use a little bit extra work. Nothing wrong with that. I do like the veins though. The little... So there's veins and then vessels. The veins are big, the vessels are smaller. I got some more vessels rather than veins showing. And I could be wrong, I actually don't know if that's true, the veins versus vessels thing. One of the things I would like for my bookshelf, right, dream little home library, is a section dedicated to a really good textbook in almost every field, right? Anatomy, like a good kinesiology textbook that goes through basic biology plus anatomy and physiology, and then I would know about vessels versus veins. Yeah, kind of like an encyclopedia but expanded, right? So I want one about electrodynamics, quantum physics, basic physics, like Newtonian physics, Einsteinian physics, I guess that's more like quantum stuff, the relativity and all that. What other field? You know, law, economics, business. What else is there? I'm trying to think. There's writing, but I don't believe in textbooks on writing. So, yeah, I think next time for arms I'm going to do 80. Because this is good, but could be better. Or at least I'll try 80. I'll try 80 on my last set. So let's do set number 2. Oh, yep. Here we go. There it is, getting tired now. That was 10. Okay, that's good though. I'm gonna do 11. Okay. Oh, yeah. I don't have I usually have a watch, my Apple Watch. If anyone wants to buy me an Omega Seamaster, please do. for now I have an Apple Watch, and I'll set a timer for like 1 or 2 minutes. So it just keeps me more disciplined with my timing, because sometimes I can zone out, or like I'll listen to a song and then I realize it's, been 2 songs. Oh my god, I'm yawning. Not good. It's okay. I'm tired. But this is why I do BFR. This is exactly why I do BFR. That was 10. Alright. Getting a little bit worse compared to last week, but we'll push through. Probably going to go for 9 or 10 on this set. But see, that's the thing, is I can't. I'm going 3 reps in reserve. I'm going just until I feel the twinge of failure in my muscles, in my form, actually. Right? Because I don't want to compensate with my shoulder for the biceps, because then basically at that point the reps stop counting anyway. Okay. There's that clock right there. I could look at it to time myself in between my sets, but I won't. Yep, 9's the magic number there. Just like the cloud. Actually, I don't do any forearm workouts. My forearms are pretty good for not isolating them. Okay, 9, that's good. Last one. Looks like I did 10 last week. So yeah, that's the thing, is if I didn't know my delta, I could go check. But it's that extra step of having to go check that I don't want to do, which would make it more natural for me to keep a good 3 reps in reserve and not worry about, because the ego or something about it, right? Because I'm not getting much stronger. I'm not really going up in weight, but I'm definitely, I can be getting weaker because I'm cutting and I'm low energy. And I don't want that. I want to stay big and strong while losing body fat, which is hard to do that, actually. Nearly impossible, so. Especially being natural, right? So, yeah. Okay. It's probably been about a minute or 2. No idea. But this is it. That one, triceps. I love triceps. And I do overhead skull crushers with the barbell, and then I do cable pull downs. I usually do the pull downs first and then the skull crushers, but I don't like the skull crushers as much, so I might start with those. It's interesting because when you start to week, when you're adjusting which order of the workout you do, it's a little bit more difficult to compare week to week. So I'm probably not going to switch it up, but I want to. Okay, let's go. Oh, man. See, now that felt more like 1 or 2 reps in reserve, but you never know. I could have maybe done 3 more. That was 12. Counting French. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. I learned French in high school. Je m'appelle Cosmo. And je t'aime. Je te déteste. Oui. No. That's about it. I didn't retain much. High school was so long ago now. It's insane. 10 years ago, I learned French. 10 years ago. DIX. I wouldn't mind learning French. The thing is, when it comes to learning a language, I have no motivation beyond general curiosity. So, that's not enough to motivate me for the effort that it takes to learn a new language compared to everything else that I have going on. A new language is just not going to take priority. Alright, let's get down from here, put the weight back, and then we'll get all set up with the triceps. This whole part could definitely be cut out. There's the director's cut, which is just everything, I think. So this will be in the part that I just keep, but then, so this is how I take the weight off. Just kind of roll it off, take it. Gotta be careful not to let it hit your legs too hard, or make it not hit your legs hard at all, because otherwise it'll bruise you. And now let's watch me put it back. You can go right or left with it. I get just nice close up. Oh, yep, just toss it up there. Now, lucky me, look at this. It's all the way up at the top, which is what I want. Typically, it's going to be like right around there. They usually leave it right around there, but this one's at the top, and it has the thing attached, which means I can reach it, pull it down, and then do my workout with the full range of motion. So let's do that. Okay, I think this is a decent angle. Looks pretty good. So I'm gonna get the rope connected. And the nice thing about the BFR again is I just do 35 pounds everywhere. So pretty easy to remember. Get the rope. Yeah. Oh wait. I already clicked it to 35. That means this will be a bit heavy, pulled down, and do. Usually I take the weight stack down to 0, but this will do. And then stuff falls off my lap. Okay. Wow. Boy, you never know how tired you are until you do something. I am exhausted. Alright, let's pull it up. On my note sheet, how many? I did 12 last set of hammer curls, okay. Cable rope push down. Last week I did 50. Frick. Okay. Where'd that thing go? The little pump. You see where it fell? Right underneath. Okie dokie. Now, when it comes to the rope, the form can be a bit difficult. A longer rope is better. I haven't experimented with 2 ropes, like grabbing another one and then pulling one down all the way and the other down all the way, because that gives more, I can go out more. So I'll try that someday. Maybe next week. Oh man. Think about that protein bar that I had before. It was one of those Pop-Tart protein bars. So it looked and kind of tasted like a Pop-Tart. It was good. It was really good. You know, I'm not a fan of how much fat there was. I think about 8 grams or 11 grams of fat, which is a lot. It fit my macros, though. It did, for the most part, fit my macros because I'm doing lower carbs today. So it ended up fitting within the calories. I'm a little bit over on my fat goals, but those are a little bit more forgiving and lenient, especially when I go lower carbs. So I'll probably still lose weight tomorrow. I've been dropping weight pretty good. I don't know where it's coming from, though, because I still got a little bit of belly fat here. This stuff is really taking a while to get going. But, you know, slow and steady. That's the progress. So now this part, boring. And my posture might not be good because I switch between in the middle, which is better, and then out. But I can only go so far out. And it's the body mechanics. And this is what makes BFR so useful. Because when I do without BFR, I can do really good weight. I can do a lot of weight with this. I'm very strong. Right? So it comes to a point, though, where this is going down. And I can't lean over it enough to have my weight above it completely, right? So like I get here and I'm kind of stuck. Like it's hard to tell, but I can't get it down anymore without kind of, I don't even know what I would do. So I have to lean back to counterbalance the weight, which means lighter weight is better. And if I can get a really good pump with the light weight, quadruply better, infinitely better. So, all right, let's get it up to about 75. All right, should be good. 4 sets of this, and then one more workout with 4 sets. It's 9:40. Jeez, I'm gonna get home so late. I kind of wish that these workouts were 3 sets each. I don't know when they changed to 4 sets each. I just snuck that in. Some of them were 4 sets, some of them were 3 sets. The biceps were 3 sets each because I do a bicep workout during my normal back and bicep day. Because typically, well, not typically, but the reason I'm doing an arm day is so I can isolate my arms and do blood flow restriction. Because if I can't, I mean, I could do blood flow restriction for one exercise on chest day, right? So on chest day, I used to have cable pull downs. And then I thought, well, my days during, you know, Monday to Thursday will be faster if I get rid of one workout. And then I can just move, you know, so now instead of 5 exercises, I have 4, Monday to Thursday. And then that 5th one that would have been, you know, biceps, triceps, that gets all put here on Friday, although today's Saturday. So, let's do it. Holy crap. Okay, so what I typically do is I'll go out for a while, and then when I start to get exhausted, I'll go in, because I usually have a little bit more left in me with that. And my left doesn't feel as tight. It's probably okay. I can't count to French past like 14, so what was that, like 3, 4? Okay, 40, 10 less than last week, but I don't care. So, whew. That was good though. That felt good. All right. I'm always very OCD about being absolutely centered with this stuff, but I think my wheelchair is also not very centered like my body within the wheelchair. I think I need to spend a couple, maybe 30 minutes adjusting the backrest. I don't think it's centered, so it pushes me off alignment. Not good. Not good. Oh man. Yeah. Just 3 more sets of this. Go home, cook up some shrimp. I'm glad I had that protein bar and 2 rice cakes before this, though. I would have been very hungry and probably not a lot of energy. Yeah. So, that was a good decision. Probably all the fats in the protein bar plus the quick carbs from the rice cakes is just carrying me like Atlas right now. Let's get it. I'm already getting tired at 10. Okay, 27. I'm feeling it a little bit more on my right than my left. I might have to focus more on that. 27. Alright. Well, last week I got 50 and then 29, so I'm not too far behind, except for that first set. But that's okay. Oh, man. I'm pretty excited for tomorrow, though. Eat my food. I have to do some meal prep. I've been eating more vegetables lately, which is good. Low calorie stuff. Pretty filling. So I do a pretty decent mix. Do some mushrooms. Do some spinach. I might add some kale or rocket, aka arugula. And then some baby carrots. Those are actually really good. And then some bell peppers. And I should toss in some garlic too. Like 1 clove of garlic should be good in that. Typically what I'll do is I'll just have some shredded chicken. I pressure cook the chicken. I just dump in the chicken breast. Sometimes I'll pre-marinate it if I can remember to do that, if I think ahead. I won't be able to tomorrow because I'm home now. Well, I'm not even home yet, but I just got back today. So I just dump in all the chicken breast. I don't do nothing to it. Sometimes I cut off the fat and I cube it, but I'm just kind of, it's a balance between time spent cooking and everything. So I just dump in the chicken breast, pressure cook it, take it out, shred it up, put it back in, because when I do pressure cook my chicken, I sauce that stuff up good. I season really good. I went to a spice and seasoning store not too long ago and got a bunch of mixes and blends. So I got jerk, I got Ethiopian curry, berbere is my favorite. I got Cajun. I got za'atar. That's better on potatoes, in my opinion. And what else? That's it. But I got gochujang paste. I got just a bunch of stuff for sauces. So I sauce it up, and I don't count calories of my sauce because it's pretty. I don't go too heavy, especially when it comes to seasoning. That stuff, other than the sodium, some of it is sodium free even. So that stuff is pretty good. But after I shred my chicken, I put it back in so that the juices can get all in the fibers. Because when you pressure cook a whole chicken breast, only the outside is getting flavored, and the whole bulk of the inside's plain chicken, so it's pretty bland. Made that mistake. So shred the chicken, put it back in, cook it a little bit longer, just to let it get the, just the heat to get the flavoring into all that shredded chicken. Then I'll add my vegetables on top, and it's much easier to do the vegetables on top raw, because if I cook them all together, then it's hard to portion it. So I'll have like 5 Tupperware bins of my chicken, about 250 grams of chicken, about 85 grams of protein, and then I'll go one by one. I'll add spinach, and then I'll go one by one again. I'll add the carrots, one by one again, add the mushrooms. That's what I found to be the easiest, because I'm doing I'm doing exact measurements of the vegetables as well. So I found that that's the best way to do it, like streamlined in a way. I could do 2 at once, right? I could do peppers and but doing everything at once for each Tupperware is pretty difficult, because I have to get it out, weigh it, put it all in. I could do one by one, I could do whatever, but either way it's easier to not cook it. But then what I'll do is I'll cook it before I eat it, so the vegetables do get cooked. Yeah. I don't know why I was talking about that, but I definitely took way too long. All right, let's go. Okay, 25. I have no idea how to edit these videos at all. Oh man, that's gonna be tough. And see, these straps are getting much tighter now that I got a good tricep pump. Oh, I want to skip this last workout so bad. I need to go home. But I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. This video is probably 20 minutes long too, just this one. This is a lot of videos that I'm going to have. Definitely going to have to cut it down. Yeah. Typically, I would do a posing routine, just like go through the motion of it. Not today. I'm going straight home after this. Man, I'm gonna sleep so good tonight. I hope I sleep good tonight. A lot of times I start laying down in bed, and then I can't fall asleep. I hope tonight is not like that. Okay, 18, and that's all I got. Okay. Barbell skull crushers, 55 pounds. So this one is not 35. So I misspoke earlier. Ooh. Let that blood flow. Okay, so here's how I do that. I'm going to stop this video and start a new one. Alright, so luckily I do have this fisheye. There's no other easy way to show the whole, because I'm going to use this bench here. 55 pounds is up here. Depending on, I would like this to be an easy bar, but it's flat. Depending on where this is, could be different for everybody. Here's how I do it. Just get right up close. Oh, man. Oh, yep. And then luckily, in my case, the bench is right here. So I just plop it down. I highly recommend just asking somebody to help you with this. I don't put it back. I just kind of set it next to it. But yeah, alright, so I'm going to switch this camera position real quick, and then we're just going to do these workouts. 4 of them, wow. Alright, so I actually don't mind the angle here. It's pretty good. So this is 0.5, this is 1. So 1 could kind of work, but 0.5 is good, and we're pretty close to the bench too, so that's good. Don't take up too much space. I gotta practice my recording skills. And ever since Sam Sulek, I'm not even in the frame and I'm talking. That's probably bad behavior. Tisk, tisk, tisk. So Sam Sulek really made it popular to do these videos. There were a lot of bodybuilding vloggers before him, but he's definitely one of the more popular, famous ones. So I guess I'm copying him. Never seen any of his videos, to be honest. So, come on. You know, one of the most annoying things about a wheelchair, honestly, is like when you're trying to move something and then it moves you. And you're like, damn. So, yeah. I think about right here is good. Picking this up is always tough. Always tough. And I'm going to pump up my arms before I get on. Just going to drop this down to the side. And my phone's over here. Put it on this side so I can reach it. Let's get these things on. And let's get this done with. This is, yeah, my favorite one is probably the cable rope push downs. I enjoy those the most. Okay, dokie. About 75. So I'll have to write that down also in my notes. Because I think last week I did 70. That's probably how I was able to get 50 reps. So that's also something to consider when looking at these reps between this week and last week. Because I think last week was less pressure. This one, I was doing overhead dumbbell extensions, and then I replaced it with this because I found that the overhead dumbbell extensions, because I was doing them in the wheelchair and it was just too much, it wasn't that good. So, okay, now I'm pretty sure you can see me, so you can see the whole transfer process. To a bench is pretty simple. Oh, yep, just like that. And then, just get this wheelchair out of the way. That's another thing when I'm in the gym. I'm always conscientious about where do I put the wheelchair so it's not in the way? Hard to do in a smaller gym, but no one's here, so it doesn't matter. Okay. Oh, I'm gonna fall asleep right here. Okay, now I haven't figured out the best way to pick these up. Sometimes I can do it one-handed, and that might be the way to go. So I'll grab underneath the bench to support, because I want to be balanced. Okay, there we go. All right, and see, this is another benefit of BFR, is that the weight is lighter, so the reality of picking it up is not as much as, let's say, 100 pounds or 120. Okay, let's go. Oh, 40. Okay. Oh, okay. Oh, damn. So you might have noticed that I kind of play around with the positioning, because the interesting thing about the body mechanics, right, is, again, I have no weight in my legs essentially. So if I have the bar too far back, my hips get lifted up off the bench, which removes a lot of stability. If I keep it kind of above my head, the weight being above my head, I can use my neck to push back from my head, and that can keep my body down with my core and everything as well. So there's a few positions that are better or worse. Oh man, I think that was 40. I forgot. I think it was 40. Okay. 3 more. Okay. Yeah, so again, with triceps, I find it hard to get a good squeeze, and that's why I like the cable so much, because it's time under tension is essentially 100%. Here, it's not, right? The tension is, and by tension I guess I just mean the most weight in the way that it is targeting the muscle the most. So here, when I'm all the way down, my tricep is fully stretched out. But then here, when I'm all the way up, my tricep is extended, but there's no force going against the extension, right? So if I were here, now there's a force that's trying to pull it down, So a machine, like when I have, my triceps are up here, so imagine the cable is going this way, and then my triceps are down here, there's a force pulling my triceps against them, I guess. So I have to really contract my triceps to hold this rope down. Here, when I get this guy up and it's straight above me, it's essentially easy. It's no work at all to keep it above me. So it's not heavy on the triceps. So it's the movement of the weight. But at the end, up here, there's essentially no tension on the triceps, which is what makes this workout not my favorite. And there's the same problem with overhead extension. And unfortunately, I am limited by the amount of workouts that I can even physically do. So this one works. But, you know, okay, come on. That's actually the first time I've done this with my left hand. So, okay. Okay, 22 plus a little bit of these. I don't feel it in my left as much as my right. I think I gotta increase the pressure for my left next time. Okay, what did I say? I said 22. I hope. Alright, frick, 2 more. And it looks like last week I forgot to do the 4th set, so I shall not forget this week. I shall not forget the 4th set. Now, as for sitting up, it is challenging. That's why I'm not doing it. I'll show you after my last set. There's a few ways to do it, but I'm way too tired right now. Oh, poop. To be fair, I have been recording and talking. I don't think the workout would have gone by much faster if I had done it any other way. But it feels like it's been a long time. Luckily, I can check the timestamp of when I actually first started my first workout and really track how long it took. Probably about an hour so far. So just a pinch over an hour, which isn't bad, to be honest. To get a full, solid arm workout in 1 hour plus recording. That's pretty good. It's pretty good. All right, let's get into it. This is the other way that I lift up. Oh, the guy or the girl. The 55. Okay. I feel it much more on my right than my left. Okay. I honestly stopped counting. Oh, I think that was 20. Oh, man. I'm gonna say 20. Maybe I'll watch the footage. My mom just called me. I have no service to reply. That's all right. I'll be able to reply after this lift. I just gotta breathe. I'm looking at the clock now. I'm gonna wait a couple more seconds. Some people say to have at least 1 or 2 minutes break in between lifts, but sometimes I don't want to. I'm actually gonna decrease the pressure on my right. It's probably a little bit more than my left. Okay. Well, yeah, so this will be a good full-length YouTube video of my workouts. I don't know if I'm going to do full-length for my workouts in the other gym, because I have friends in the other gym and we talk. But I probably will. I will. I'll try. Like, I'll just record my set, stop in between, probably not talk. So that's probably the difference is when I'm in the other gym, they're playing music. So I can't really have them turn it to 0. As much as I wish they would, gosh, it's such bad music and it's so loud. Everybody has headphones or earbuds. Nobody really listens to the gym music. And for the people that do, they would probably be okay for it to be half as loud. It's just obnoxious, and it's gonna damage my ears because I'm trying to block it out because it's so bad. But whatever. I go in, they know me, I ask them to turn it down, and they do. I don't know how far down they turn it down, but okie dokie. Ooh, okay. Oh, damn. Darn. That was tough. Oh, okay. 18. I want to stop so bad, but I know I can do more. Oh. Okay. 21. What's 9 plus 10? 21. All right. I'll write this down. Now, show you how to get up. When you're laying on a bench, it's really hard. I'm gonna deflate these. You can kind of use the chair, but essentially you have no core. I have some core, but not enough to really pull me up. What I'll do is I'll like, flick my arms up, and that works for me. Now, for other people, it might not work. One thing I've done before is, if I have dumbbells, I'll take the dumbbells, and I'll swing them up, and that'll work. If it's with this, one hand down here, use that. And then you gotta be careful because you gotta pull it back up, otherwise it's gonna fall all the way forward. Another one is you can kind of use the chair. You wanna have it really close next to you and make sure the brake is on and just pull yourself up with it somehow. It's hard, it is hard, so it does take practice and it can be embarrassing, but something, if you're working out and you use a wheelchair, you have to figure it out yourself, you know what I mean? Like, it's different for everybody, a little bit different for everybody. If you're at a bench and there's the barbell, I'll grab the barbell and use that to kind of help me lift up. So there's different things. If you have someone to help you, they could just help you sit up. But figure out what works best for you. Look at what I do and adapt it to yourself. That's what life is about. All right. Whew. You can see how tight that was, but the arm pump is very real. I love it. Successful arm day. And now I'm going to go home and have 150 grams of shrimp with no rice. I could have had rice. I could maybe have like 1 or 2 potatoes with it. Not full, like 1 or 2 little tiny 1/8 cubes of potato. Like 10 grams, 15 grams of potato. Yeah.